Hello, hello, hello. A very warm welcome to all our friends, viewers, stakeholders, fans of Africa Rise with Susan West. It is, of course, another beautiful Sunday. And here in London, the weather is improving. And I do hope that wherever you're joining us from today, that your weather conditions are as fantastic as we have it here in London today. Ibolachi, as they would say in Igbo language. Zanore, as the northern Ghanaian Fafra people will say. Zanore, Sanu, Ndewo, and you know, all the languages I can remember so far, so good. So, yes, today our topic is very pertinent. It is very pertinent because I came across this video of a beautiful sister in America who was talking things that sounded like music to my ears, but I couldn't fully understand. And so I began to think that if I didn't fully understand it, there are many other people who didn't understand what they were listening to. So I have invited Sister Augusta Anosike, all the way from the United States of America, to join us on Africa Rise with Susan West today to talk about, of course, there's been a lot of noise going on as far as Nigeria and the problems in Nigeria. So today's topic is the possibility of a peaceful dissolution of Nigeria, the NINA's strategy and approach. So that's what the conversation is going to be about. So of course, as you join this broadcast, do the needful, share this broadcast, like, follow our page on Facebook. We have a new page. It is Africa Rise TV. We're still on _Susan West, but we have a new page, which of course you can follow, like, and follow us there. Also, remember that our YouTube channel is Africa Rise TV. You can subscribe, and when you do, please press the bell button so that you are alerted when we do go live. And of course, without taking too much of your time, I will be bringing our sister on. But remember to share this broadcast, invite people, and of course, send in your questions and comments as you may have them, as we always do on this program. Welcome, Dr. Augusta Anosike.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
You're always looking, you're always shining, like the
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So really quickly, let's go into the conversation of today. When I listened to your video, it was so interesting. It was exciting. The reason is because we all know what the solution for Nigeria is, but the fear, at least one of the solutions, the fear is that a lot of people don't understand that there are other ways out. So first of all, I want you to go ahead and introduce your organization, NINAS. What is NINAS?
Okay. NINAS is Nigerian Indigenous Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination. What we are looking for is self-determination. Some people sometimes the mistake secession with self-determination. Those are two different things. We are not succeeding because remember that we are the owners of the land. We live there. The territory belongs to us. So why would we secede from what is ours? So that is not secession. What we're doing is actualizing the fact that we are the owners of the land. Self-determination is actually what we are all about. So that is what it's all about anyway. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. That's profound. Yes, it is good that you educated us on self-determination and cessation, the difference on that. That's very absolutely fantastic. So my next question is, how relevant or significant is the work of NINAS as regards the call of cessation by the different groups?
Okay, very relevant. But as I said earlier, we are not talking about cessation because that is the tool, or probably, some politicians are using it loosely so that they can pinpoint on some people, get them imprisoned or killed for that matter. So we are not using the word cessation at all. The relevance of what NINAS is doing is that we're trying to avoid anarchy at the best. Like, we don't want war. We don't want to have anything to do with war, because guess what? If there is war in Nigeria, we're about 200 million people. That is, that's what they say. I know we are probably way more than that. So if we go to war, here's what will happen. That is, it will be like 200 million people looking for refugees somewhere.
Yes.
That is not going to happen. So the idea of, they're using that cessation loosely. No, we're not. We just trying to, actualize what is ours originally. So that is what NINAS is doing, waking everybody up. And the truth about it is that you have to be an ethnic or an indigenous person in your own ancestral land.
Right.
You understand? The way we have the Ijaws. The Ijaws, they are indigenous to Ijaw. The Yorubas, the Igbos. The way we also have the Shekiris, the Robos, Efik, Anang. Even the Hausas are indigenous to that, place, this geographical space called Nigeria. The only people that are not indigenous are the Fulanis. They came from Futajalon, they came from Chad, they came from Senegal, they migrated to Nigeria. These people are originally nomads. They move with their cattle. They're cattle rearers, they move up and down. So, they came into Nigeria and we were, I don't even know how to put it correctly because I don't know how we became so blind to the agenda of the Fulanese. The agenda from day one was to secure a space and name it theirs.
Right.
And they never minced word. They never minced word. They had that intention from day one. If you remember, after independence, I think 1960, 12 days after independence, we had what is that? His name, Mamadou Bello.
Yes.
Saying that this land was given to them by their forefathers and blah, blah, blah. He said that. And that they will never allow the owners of the land to rule themselves. They will never allow an Igbo man to be an Igbo man in his own ancestral land. This was an agenda they've had long time ago. And they've been working towards it. They never relented. They never stopped. They kept moving. We were the ones that, sat back and were like, nothing's happening. We really were so laid back that we didn't understand what they were doing. But right now, the tide has changed because we found out that we can't continue like this. And even if we decide to do that, for how long?
For how long? Majority
of all Southerners are outside the country. If you look at it, we are in London, we're in the US, we are outside the country. Majority of us, the Southerners. When I mean Southerners, I'm talking about the Yorubas are part of the Southerners. They are Southerners. Yes. We have the Southeast, the Easterners. They will also have the South-South. Somehow they brought a form of dichotomy. They brought a form of divide and rule amongst us. So we were busy calling out names, insulting, abusing ourselves, while they concentrated on what they wanted to do. And they haven't stopped. So it's time for us to, just come together, put our hands on the same deck and say, you know what? Enough is enough. And the pathway is there already. All you all need to do is to key into it. That's all.
Because you said the pathway is there already, there are many people who don't know what the pathway is. So what is that pathway that you're talking about?
Good. I'm talking about the NINAS approach. The NINAS approach, they've been working for the past 21 years. And this has been going on, it was covert initially, like under the ground, working, trying to make sure that, Nigeria is a very dangerous place to stay, in all honesty. If you do anything, you can get killed and, nothing would happen. But the truth about it is that NINAS has been working for a very long time. Prior to them becoming NINAS, they found out that there was this constitution, the 1999 constitution. I cannot overemphasize that constitution because this constitution is what is the bone of contention here. This is the very reason why NINAS is talking. This is the very reason why this constitution has to be pulled down, because there were so many things in that constitution that a lot of them that don't make sense. First of all, they lied to us that we, the people, wrote this constitution. The constitution was not written by we, the people. There was no plebiscite. There was no referendum. We didn't gather in one place and said, okay, this is what we want. Remember, the constituents have to be the owner of the constitution. You know, like every regular meeting, I know, like probably in your village meeting, you people will sit down and discuss what you want for your, for that village meeting.
Absolutely.
Anybody that goes contrary could either be fined or, whatever. That is the way it is. So the owners of the land were not contacted when this constitution was probably written. I wouldn't say written because they took a 1979 constitution through Decree 24, made this one a 1999 constitution. And in that constitution, they say we the people did that. The unfortunate thing is that we the people did not do anything. We didn't come so close to the paper.
Right.
And if you go back, you will find out that Obasanjo, that was the president then, did not even swear on this booklet because they wrote it and brought it through the backyard. You understand? People did not review, they didn't read through to know what we are signing on of. Because when you come and you say, we the people, our signature is on a document that is subjugating us, would we do that?
Absolutely. Who would?
Who would? You are signing a constitution that will make you not have electricity for 24 hours. Who would do that? You are signing a constitution that will make you not have good roads. We all live abroad. We see how the roads are. We see how the hospitalization. I mean, you can't beat it. But there's a constitution that is being written that makes it impossible. Impossible. You cannot do anything about it. And some people will say, why not go back and meet your governors? Guess what? In that constitution, the governors are given the power to behave anyhow. I'm trying to bring it down to our level now.
Yes.
To behave anyhow, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't even recall them if you so wish.
Yeah.
And the truth about it is that once you put a governor, you can see what happened in Imo State. The fourth position governor was put back by the Supreme Court, and man, who does that? So that is why we're saying it does not even matter who heads that country. That constitution has to come down.
Yeah.
So that is what we are talking about. And Ninas comprise people from the southern region and the middle belt. I'm going to show you another map. This is the map of Nigeria. Okay, I don't know if you're seeing it clearly.
Yeah, I can see, yes.
Okay, we have the Alliance territory here.
Yes.
The Alliance territory, these are parts of the middle belt. We have the Yoruba nation here. We have the lower Niger here. Okay?
Yeah.
In the lower Niger, we are having people from the south and people from the southeast, and also some parts of the Midwest.
Yes.
Or if not all parts of Midwest, like the Shekiris and Robos and all those, we are all part of this lower Niger area.
Yes.
So people would ask, why lower Niger? Why are you using lower? Why are you not using Biafra? Now I'm going to show you another map that makes it impossible to use Biafra. Okay. This is another map here. You see the tiny dot here?
Yes.
That's Biafra.
That's the bite of Biafra, is it?
No, just the entire place is Biafra. The tiny dot here you see.
Oh.
Yeah, in this map. This is a Nigerian's map, correct?
Yes. Yes.
This is the 1967 Biafra.
Okay.
You understand? You see that it's a tiny dot.
Yes.
It does not include our brothers and sisters in the region here.
Absolutely.
You understand that?
Yes.
Compare that to here, where we have all our Ijo, Ishekiri, all these our brothers and sisters in. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely. I get your point.
Exactly. So the idea of Biafra is not even what we are talking about. We are talking about freedom for the indigenous peoples.
People.
Everybody. No, peoples with an S.
Peoples, yes.
People, you are just, trying to, limit it. I will not limit it. It's not just for my own freedom.
Yes.
For the Yorubas, for the Ijos, for the Shekiris, for the Robos, for them, even for the Hausas, because here, where they've conquered them already. The Fulanis have conquered the Hausas at the top of this map here. So it's freedom for everybody. So Ninas came together, and before they even got together and became Ninas, they had to do what is called solemn assemblies. The solemn assemblies were held in all these regions that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
The first one was held in Port Harcourt. That is for the lower Niger people. They gathered together. coming as their indigenous, like you come as your own person. An Asian man came as an Asian man.
Yes.
You understand? They all came as their own indigenous, nation, indigenous peoples.
Yes.
They gathered them and they declared that fraudulent 1999 constitution is what is holding us all captive. So the Solemn Assembly was done on the 27th of April, 2015. By the time the Lower Niger group did this, that is these people here, because sometimes people will say, whom did you consult? No. People were consulted. Trust me, it took 6 years.
The people,
not the politicians, okay?
Yes.
Because politicians are like, oh, did they talk to this person? No. Politicians are enjoying this. Trust me. They are enjoying all the things that are coming from Nigeria. They are benefiting. They are benefiting from the rot that Nigeria is. So they're not interested in your freedom.
Right.
So the people that were contacted here, 6 years it took to talk to everybody in this region. Then they agreed to do the Solemn Assembly. For the Yoruba nation, Yorubas are homogeneous. They are together, one language, one culture, one dressing, one food. Absolutely. They are together. They have the same everything.
Yes.
In our own side, we have a heterogeneous. We are not totally all the same, but we have so many things, in common.
In common, right.
So the Yorubas on this side, it took them 2 years to get them talking to themselves and talking about this alliance territory that we're talking about. And by September 7th, 2017, they did their own Solemn Assembly. Then the Middle Belt, they gathered too. Because remember, initially, we used to think that the Middle Belt and all these places, we call them North.
North, right.
You understand? We say, oh, everybody is the Ugwausa. They just say North. Exactly. The Middle Belters, they came out and said, you know what? Even we are not benefiting from all these things that this caliphate are even. They are even the worst hit, trust me.
Yes.
They are going through a terrible situation right now.
Yes.
So by 2018, July 8th, they also gathered in Makurdi. The Yorubas gathered in Ibadan, Adamasimba Stadium, that big stadium. They came out and said they are also repudiating that 1999 constitution that has held them captive. So after they did this, the Middle Belters came together and did their own in 2018. They did, I think, July 8th. They gathered together and said, we are also repudiating that paperwork that has made it so impossible for them to, for everybody to breathe. You understand? So by the time the regions, all three, we call them blocks, BLOC. We call them blocks. By the time each block has done, what they needed to do, they now gathered together by December 11, 2018, and in Lagos. Yes. Where they did the Freedom Park Proclamation. And it has emerged. And since then, it has been a lot of underground work to get this thing going. Yes. It has been a lot of underground work because they found out that the 1999 Constitution has about 68 items on the exclusive list. If you want to go and, let's say, for instance, you want to generate electricity, you understand? The federal government would have to either agree or not. Can you imagine? Recently, they are celebrating 5,000 kilowatt hour, whatever they are celebrating in Nigeria. I mean, who does that?
Who does that?
You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, I can't remember the last, apart from the tornadoes and all those disasters that happened in America, when light was taken. You understand what I'm saying?
In fact, just to put in something there, I learned that when the electricity is generated in the southeast, that area, it's going to be transported all the way to the north and then return. And in the process of return, so much power is already lost. What kind of nonsensical person or people sits down to think that way? Oh, thank you. You have explained it all. Everything has to go back to the federal pockets. You understand? Yeah. What Lagos State generates from their port authority goes to the federal pocket.
And when it gets to the federal pocket, the Constitution allows every money that is generated in Lagos to go to that federal pocket, and it allows Kano State that does not generate anything to get 70% of that money.
Daylight robbery.
What is daylight robbery? What is daylight robbery? You understand what I'm saying? So every money that comes in that is being generated in Lagos goes to Kano that does not generate anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I when I'm so those my Niger Delta brother, I say make una cool down for Jesus. Nothing don't spoil. They need to calm down. And the reason being said is that they keep thinking that, when we succeed or when we move around, the Igbos will come and take away your land and they will take away your oil. Igbos don't care about your oil because we also have oil in Abia and Imo State. In all honesty, Imo and Abia are part of the Niger Delta.
Absolutely. It's part of the NDDC.
Oh, thank you, my sister.
Yes.
So that's to tell you that we really, no, we want freedom. We want to be free. We want to enjoy 24 hours electricity.
Yes.
It can happen. You know why? We have coal in Enugu. What happened to that coal? We used to have Nkalagu cement. We used to have Ibeto cement in those days. We used to have factories. We used to have so many things that we used to have in those days. Right now, the only cement that sells in Nigeria is Dangote cement.
Dangote cement, yes.
Does it make sense? And the guy so hyped up the price that you cannot compete with him.
No.
Now,
and only in Nigeria, where Dangote produces. In other African countries, it is a lot below 50%.
In Ghana, the same Dangote cement in Ghana is 800 naira. In Ghana, the same Dangote, the way the Dangote bagged cement is.
Yes.
In Ghana is 800 naira. But he's selling it for 4,500 or thereabout, as at the last time, a friend bought one.
Yes.
And you are wondering why. Dangote is the only one doing cement. Dangote is the only one doing Indomie noodles. Dangote is the only one doing spaghetti, tomato puree. He's the only one building what is it called? A refinery in Lagos.
Refinery, yes.
And you are asking, how would one man, no competition? People cannot compete with him. He's the only one making sugar, salt. Before you know it, he will start making onubo and so many other stuff. Without
monopoly everywhere.
I have to go to Dangote to go and buy onubo to make onubo soup. Does it make sense? In a country that is so diverse, in a country where we have very, very intelligent people, in a country where our name, I don't know, the statistics here, you just have to Google it. In Nigerians here in America, they are the top class here in America.
Absolutely.
Where are we not perfect or almost perfect?
Yes.
Just name it. You understand? So how can we have that much talent? Then back home is like a prison yard. Does it make sense? So it does not make sense. So that is why Nina's approach is so important for our people, because we need to, first of all, bring down that 1999 Constitution. Once it is brought down, you see, let me show you this. We call this a domino one effect.
Yes.
I don't know if you're seeing it very clearly.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So here, this is like the alliance territory pushing down on this thing. When you push down on this thing, you make election not viable. Like when we're telling people, there would not be general election in 2023. We are saying that the election right now, we are canceling the 2023 election. We're not saying boycott, because there's a difference. People would think, let us cuckoo boycott it. Or
when you boycott it, you don't go and vote. Other people, the bad people will go and vote, and then they carry the day.
That is why we are saying not that there won't even be politicians campaigning, let alone have election.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So by the time the election goes down, this is the Constitution in the middle.
Yes.
If this one falls on this one, this one will fall on this one. And this is the union. This is Nigeria.
Yes.
So hold on, let me see if I can get the other one for you. So if it falls, if this falls, which is the union,
yes,
it means that we no longer have a union. And
yes.
when we don't have a union, it means that we can decide what we want. We can either decide to go back to the union. Oh, I think I missed it somehow, but I'll look for it as we talk. We can either decide to go back to the union, or we can decide to pull out. And for us to go back into the union, what we need to do first is that everybody will go back to their ethnic nationalities. You go into your different abode. You will sit down, you will talk with your people, you will write your own constitution, the way they had it before, I think in the 63s or 60s or thereabout. You will do all that. Then by the right, you will now do your own constitution in your different, you will now come back to the center and say, okay, this is what we want. So if the center is not ready to go with it, you pull out. Then if you want to continue with the center, you continue. But I know that a lot of people are not interested in continuing with the center.
It's like a marriage, a broken marriage that no one sees.
Broken now.
You know,
it does not have nepotism. I don't know whether you understand. A broken marriage has no nepotism. So that's the thing. So we just want our people to understand that there is a strategy that does not involve war. It involves a lot of, thinking, a lot of
brainstorming.
Yes, it involves a lot of legal work. Trust me, it's been on for a long time. And we are so close to the very end. I'm trying to show you the 16 pathways, like oh, I had to use this yesterday. Okay, I'm sorry. That's it. So this is the map. Before I even do this, let me show you where the idea of what NINAS is doing, how it came about.
Yes.
South Africa has used this template before. South Africa, when they had the apartheid era, you understand? Yes. You know, when the whites there were taking the land of the owners of the land and all that, killing them, turning them to slaves and all what's not. These people kept fighting. They kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and they are like, why is nobody even, trying to help them? Yes. Then we had these two lawyers, Nelson Mandela and Oliver Tambo. Yes. They are lawyers. They have their own. I think in that country, then they were like the first Black lawyers to even own a firm. Yes. So they got together. They looked at the South African Constitution. They said to Fiakwa, this does not make sense. Yes. It doesn't make sense. So what they did was to start working towards that, bringing down the South African Constitution. Right. They call it the apartheid constitution. Yeah. So that was the method. It took a long time because they didn't understand it before. You understand? They didn't know that it was that constitution that is making all that thing possible. Yes. They didn't know.
It's like when you're suffering from a disease, and you don't know what the problem is, the root cause of the disease. And you finally discover, right?
They didn't know. Just as we are saying that the root cause of Nigeria, the way it is this 1999 constitution. We have a lot of sons and lawyers saying that we have to amend the constitution. But you cannot amend something that is fraudulent. Yes. You cannot. So Thabo Mbeki and Nelson Mandela worked on these things, and that was how they were able to pull down the apartheid constitution. And before you know it, everything is history. And while that thing was going on, Namibia, a country of about maybe 2 million people, I don't know the I might have to cross-check that. Yeah. Were able to pull out and form their own country.
Yes.
So a country that is that small, maybe 2 million or 20 million, I'm not sure, I have to verify that, but that small could move out. You know what it would take from the 40 to 50 million Yoruba people in Nigeria to pull out and decide to help themselves? About 50 to 60 Lower Niger people. When I'm talking about Lower Niger, you saw the map I showed you. Yes. And about 40 to 50 million middle belters. You understand? Yes. So if all these small tiny countries can be on their own, what is wrong with us?
Right. Now, in repudiating the 1999 Constitution, it's not going to happen. The politicians, of course, like you mentioned earlier, are benefiting from the corrupt system, the rot that goes on in Nigeria. They're not going to let it happen. How is NINAS going to make sure that, how is NINA's work going to make it possible that the 1999 Constitution is truly repudiated, especially because precedents have been set in South Africa, in Namibia, like you mentioned. So how does that translate in the Nigerian factor?
Good. That's a very good question. We've often said that the politicians, they are seriously benefiting from the rot. They are enjoying it. They are having a field day. Trust me. But they are not important in this that we are doing. They don't write constitution. They do not. Politicians do not write constitution. The constitution should be from the people. You understand?
Yes.
So they don't write constitution. And that was why on the 16th of December last year, we did what was called constitutional force majeure. This is the constitutional force majeure. Is online. I mean, I can forward them to you.
Yes.
It is online. This constitutional force majeure was done on the 16th, repudiating that 1999 Constitution, telling everybody that cares to listen that, hey, we are no longer bound by this paper, this fraudulent paper that they gave us. We are no longer bound by it.
Right.
So it has already been, it's in dispute right now.
Right.
Because we've done the force majeure already. And when we did this force majeure, we gave the presidency 90 days to, because there were about 5 demands in this force majeure, about 5 demands that we have here. So we have given that to the federal government. They have a copy of it. Everybody that matters have a copy of this. Everybody that matters have a copy of this. So the presidency, we gave them 90 days to come around this force majeure. Of course, they pretended that they didn't hear. We gave them 30 days for the politicians, like the governors, the senators, and all what's not.
Yes.
To come around into the transitioning process, because guess what? We are moving ahead. Remember, the power belongs to the people.
Absolutely.
And they are still, turning deaf ears and all that. And right now we are at our last stage, which is the 120 days for the people. We, the people, the power has gone back to the people. Remember that despite the fact that the 1999 Constitution was fraudulent, you see, that is why when they say copy, no good. That's the true thing. You just copy and paste somebody else's work. Exactly. So they copied the 1999 Constitution fraudulently, but in Section 14, subsection 2A, they said that the sovereignty belongs to the people. You understand? So we, the people, we are the owners of the land. Sovereignty belongs to us. And we're telling you that with the force majeure, the power has gone back to the people.
Right.
Now that the power has gone back to the people, you do not need all these politicians to come around you and start telling you. We've given them the time for them to, to come around all these things. And they did it. Right now is our own time. And the work we're doing basically is campaigning out there that there will not be any election in 2023.
Right.
With the Constitution, the way it is written, if you like, I don't know whom we are going to bring a saint to come and become the president of Nigeria. With that Constitution, the saint will be worse than the devil. Yes. Trust me. Because of course, when you swear an oath to something, you have to carry out what is in that Constitution.
Yes.
That is why it is so not, we kind of emphasize it. There's no point in us trying to, make it look as if we're doing a child's play here. No. The power has already gone back to the people.
Yeah.
So that is why it's important for everybody to understand that you now have the power to say what you want and how you want it. And we're saying no election. No election, especially the national election. Yeah. That is what we're all about. You understand? The governors that are at the moment, like we have governors that are only to fall into the transitioning process when the time comes.
Yes. Before I ask my next question, I want to take a few comments from YouTube and Facebook. WSR1.TV says Fulani domination of the nation was due to compatibility and hospitality nature of Hausa people, which worked against them and entire nation in general on the long run. And Princess Ivy Osawe from Canada says no good road security, good healthcare, yet they keep borrowing money to be shared among themselves. Buhari and all evil members of the House of the Senate will die a bad death. That is because Twinkle Oruwariye, my brother, says fantastic effort. I and many Nigerians are very proud of all your efforts and hard work, dedication and passion on taking this long, peaceful route with no war. Well done. May Almighty God reward you and all your family in abundance. Amen. And of course, he goes to he says, great job, great achievement, Susan. Thank you, Twinkle. Yes, for bringing you on. He's thanking me for that. He says it's a great achievement because it is. And of course, he goes ahead to say monopolized economy is what Nigeria is. And Glory Grace Shannon says the nation is facing a lot of hassles, so much so that only selfless leaders in the polity can and will stay afloat. The masses are willing and ready, but we have a voice as envisaged. They don't, I think she meant to say. And yes, Rahina Bello, welcome. Leila Disoni, thank you. Rosa Liz Silva, welcome everyone. Anyway, my question is going to be that you said the power is now with the people, and we do know that the current sitting government in Nigeria, the presidency, as they always refer to them, is not a government that respects the rule of law, constitution, anything. So the constitution force majeure has happened, and now the power is with the people. How much does these people know that the power is with them, and how can we now take the power and use it to the benefit of the entire Nigeria, with or without the consent of these people in rulership, the evil rulership that we have in Nigeria?
That is a very wonderful question. First of all, they don't own us. They don't. We own them. It's like you have a company, for instance, the company that you built from the scratch. Eventually, you hired a manager to head one part of the company. Yours is to just relax. Once in a while, you come back and check on the company and see what the company is doing. Trust me, the constitution or the bylaws of that company would be, because this is how you want your company to be like. So you are going to write your own bylaws like, hey, this is how I want it to be like. Then if the people you hired, like your manager, your whatever you hired to head that company, if they are mismanaging the company, what do? You go back and grab your company from their hands.
Absolutely.
And that is what we have done. Excuse me. The power has gone back to the people. That is what I want everybody to understand. Power has gone back to you. You are now, you just have to be aware that you now have the power. Every 4 years, they will come and give you 1 cup of rice, 1 tea tomato, and this for you to vote for them. All you needed to do is to tell that your brother or your cousin or your nephew from your own area that wants to go and run for some form of election. You tell him, hey, no, let us bring down that constitution first. Once the constitution is down, then you can go and run for election. If we make it impossible for them to come out there and run for election, everything would go as planned. And that is why the awareness is out there. We are talking. We've been talking. I'm a member of the Daughters of Truth. We do our shows every Saturday. So we've been talking and talking and talking. People are not just listening. Sometimes I try to break it down in a broken English to make it easy for our people to understand that right now you are the owner. You are the owner of the land. These people that you employ, your senators, you employed them, not the other way around. You employed them. They are working for you. So you have the right to tell them, hey, I no longer enjoy how you work. I'm sacking you. You are no longer working for me. I am taking a different route because guess what? You are the owner of the land.
Right. That brings me to, I want to ask, when, for instance, if you have a court order to turn up in court and they try to deliver the order to you, and you refuse to acknowledge that it's been delivered to you. At some point, it will be irrelevant whether you have signed or seen that document. It will be incumbent on you to make sure that you turn up at court. So when these politicians are pretending that they haven't seen that document, that the constitutional force majeure has happened, but they haven't acknowledged it, how is NINAS going to enforce? Is there any kind of external help with the United Nations? Is there any kind of help with the African Union? Is there any kind of collaboration with the African Union or the United Nations in achieving what NINAS is trying to achieve?
Yeah, that, as I said, that's another good question. So, as I said, the politicians and all these people, whether they pretend that they've seen it or not, when the constitutional force majeure happened, it was in all the major newspapers in Nigeria. It was there. Some of these things were physically handed over to, to the presidency, to all these people. They are very, very aware. They are just feigning ignorance because, they want, power is sweet now. They want to remain and continue to enjoy at the detriment of their own people. Yeah. So that fact is there. Now, you are asking the United Nations. There is the UNDRIP. We call this the UNDRIP. It's the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of the Indigenous Peoples. In 2007, this was when this thing was signed. This was when this booklet came out in 2007. And guess what? The people that made it possible were our brother Tony Nadi. He's a lawyer, a renowned lawyer in Nigeria.
I know him. Yes.
Yes. He's the secretary of LSC, and he's a proponent, a co-convener of NINAS.
Yes.
He was able to get Professor Wole Soyinka to, look through this thing, and through his connection, get with Kofi Annan, the late Kofi Annan. Yes. He was the secretary of the United Nations then, and we were able to approve this. The first guy that tried it was, I think it was a Swedish guy. I have to Google that sometime later. Yeah. Was he tried to allow Africans. He was trying to help Africans, the indigenous peoples, understand that they have freedom. Guess what? He was killed. He was killed. I would get the name for you by the time we are done. The guy was killed. They were like, how dare you open the eyes of Africans to what belongs to them? How can you do that? So they allowed that to, for a very, very, very long time. Nothing happened until we had the opportunity to do that. And that was when Kofi Annan was the UN secretary. So yes, he was able to come to play. When South Africa was having their South Africa situation, this was not available. That was why it took so long. They were fighting all themselves and all that. But in our own case, we already have this. This is the template. This is what we are working with. This is where all the information you see that NINAS is doing basically is coming from, because we are following a template. If you go to the United Nations, the first thing they would ask you, okay, you want to leave, give us your map. That's the first thing they would ask.
Right.
It's okay, this is my map. And when we went there, the map they had for the Lower Niger Territory was the 1885 ethno-linguistic map. That was the map they had. And that is why we are working with Lower. We call it Lower Niger, not because at the end of the day, that is what our nation would be.
No.
Because at the end, remember, there's going to be a lot of referendum. We'll be doing referendum to approve or disapprove of certain things.
Yes.
As time goes on. So, but we're calling it Lower Niger because that is the name of the map that we're using to demarcate our territories. Remember, you have to come as an indigenous person. You understand? Right. You have to come as an indigenous person. That is the full thing that we have about 46 articles here. So if you read it, we've done this on our show. We've treated every document that I show you right now has been treated on our show. So this United Nations already is aware of what we are doing because we are following their templates.
Yes.
You understand? We are not copying this from our head. We are following the template that they set aside. Because if you go tomorrow and say you're looking for Biafra, they'll ask you, show me your map. Then you start giving them this tiny. They don't have that
tiny little dots.
Dot. They don't have that dots. They don't have it. What they have is that 1885 map, and that is why we are going by that name.
And that would be the place that you call the alliance on the map that you call what the United Nations have.
The lower Niger map. Hold on, let me see if I can get that.
Just so that people have a clear understanding.
I'm sorry, I have a lot of documents flying here.
It's all right.
So this map is what they have. This map here for those of us in the lower Niger.
Right.
You understand, and that consists of the southeast, the southwest, and parts of the Midwest.
Yes.
Unlike these tiny dots. They don't have these tiny dots.
They don't recognize that one.
They don't recognize this. So that is why we went with this. So first of all, the United Nations is part of what we are talking about because we are following their textbook. They wrote it.
Yes.
I mean, if your teacher wrote a book and asked you go and read and write an exam, you understand what I'm trying to say?
It's like the word of God. When God says this is who he is and this is what he's gonna do, and you've done your part, he's incumbent on him to make sure he fulfills his promise.
Isn't it to mark you correct? Not be so. That is why we decided to go through this. You understand?
Yes.
So, United Nations already aware. So that's by the side. Then we have the United States. The United States Security Council. They understood because of what we have been doing on the ground. We have the Lower Niger. They were able to meet with the Lower Niger Congress. They were able to meet with the Congress, that's the United States Congress, and explain to them what is actually happening in Nigeria. Yes. Because initially they thought it was this farmers and elders clash men, like they were like farmers.
That was the misinformation that the federal government was peddling out there.
You got it, my sister. So they thought it was just the farmers and elders clash and up and down. So they were not paying so much attention. Yes. Until we have our brother, Barrister Tony, he was able to get into Congress and he explained to them. The videos are out there. So you can Google them. I can forward them to you. They are out there. So it's not me, I'm not making stories up. I live here. Everything we do here has to be documented. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. Yeah. So it was able to explain to them that, hey, this is not farmers and elders clashmen. No. This is Boko Haram coming into our territories. Mm. And their major plan was to come through because initially they thought that they have defeated ISIS. But ISIS have joined hands with Boko Haram to form ISWAP.
ISWAP, yes.
Yes. So they have already taken over here. They have come down to this side. Guess where the wealth is? The wealth is around here.
Yes.
You understand? I don't know if I'm showing it well.
Yes. Yes.
The wealth is around here. So they are coming from this side. They pushed through Middle Belt. They are coming down here to come and take the wealth that is around. When I draw my hand like this, I'm talking about this region that is so close to the waters that leads to the United States. I know United States, their body they shake when you talk about terrorism. They are always like. So the idea was to penetrate here and take the wealth here and use it to subjugate the entire world.
Yes.
That is their primary objective. So when the United States saw this, they were like, wow, this makes sense. For more than 7 months, there was back and forth. Even that time, Barrister Tony had to move some of these Christians that were being killed. Leah Shuaibu's mom was part of those that came for that meeting.
Wow.
Yes. So she came for the meeting. They had to show them physically that they are killing our people to take away our ancestral lands, take the money there, and continue to expand their jihad.
Yeah.
That was when it hit United States. They said, you see, we explained again. You say what? So United States decided to partner with us. They are all about their own national security. Yes. Because that is what it involves. Their national
it's important for them. that this does not see the light of day.
Exactly. So they were like, you know what? Let's even investigate further. So they sent for the president of Nigeria. He didn't come. He sent his vice president.
Yemi Osibanjo.
No, you know, when you're not relevant to my progress, I don't have to remember your name. so they sent Yemi Osibanjo. Yemi Osibanjo came and met with the then vice president of the United States.
Yes.
Pence. When he met with him, he was telling Pence that, oh, don't worry about it. There is nothing going on. It's just some headers and farmers that are clashing.
Oh,
Pence said, shush it there. Nothing like headers and farmers. Pence told him point blank that he was lying. He called the vice president of Nigeria a liar.
A liar. Wow.
Well, that guy is a pastor. Some people, we need to collect that Bible from their hands because it doesn't make sense. You can't go there and lie. He lied. So the vice president of America called the vice president of Nigeria a liar.
A liar.
Lying, saying that it is either some whatever clashmen and all. No.
Yes.
So
there's some farmers clashes.
Can you imagine? So after he had left, the United States got together. The Security Council got together, and they brought, with the help of all the documents that have been forwarded to them, they were able to look through it. And by June of last year, 2020, June 2nd to be precise, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, signed an executive order towards this thing. So guess what? United States is on our side.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. It's online everywhere. They signed an executive order June 2nd, 2020. They're in front. We are the one lagging behind.
Wow.
The way things are going.
Yeah.
So, and if you understand lately, even the European Union, all of them are like they're handing off of Nigeria's wahala. They're like, oh, this thing, EU recently said that this is not a matter of shooting guns.
Absolutely.
That you all need to go back and sit down and resolve this. You have to sit down to resolve this.
That's the only way out.
I think it was last month we had all these back to back, or early this month, back to back pronunciation saying that, hey, UK, London, whatever, British, they came and said their hands are off this because it is too complicated. Even though they are the one driving the car. They've been driving it for years. But it has gotten to a stage where it is so complicated that they need to hands off. So we are on the right path, my sister. All we need to do is to remain focused. That's all. That is all we need to do.
Right. Thank you. I'm just going to take one more set of reads, and then I'll ask you my final question for today. Jesus Witness Ministry says, I want to thank Dr. Anosike, Barrister Tony Nadi, Professor Banji Akintoye, and Professor Shoyinka for your time and sacrifice to free people of Nigeria from the demonic constitution. He goes ahead to say Nigeria was dead and buried in September 2020 in the spiritual realm. And Twinkle Oruwarie says, Madam, please up your personal security, both you and your colleague lawyer, Pastor Adefarasin's friend. I have forgotten his name. Be careful of strange parcels and strange people. Please, I know your antennas are up already, but still, etc. He knows, what he's talking about.
I know, right?
Like you are talking and opening the eyes of people, educating us, informing us, and making us understand where we're at. They don't want to see people like you. Wow. And so people, the right-thinking Nigerians want to make sure that you're safe and well. And Thank you. My final question is going to be that, is it possible that the work at NINAS will definitely spare Nigeria the route of another war for the realization of nationhood by the different ethnic groups?
Thank you. Why would we go to war? when we have the alliance territory? Does that answer you? Why would we go to war when we have the alliance territory?
Right.
You understand? Remember that the Biafran war, why that war was so painful was because people then didn't understand what we were talking about. We didn't understand the subjugation and the marginalization that the Igbos faced.
Yes.
We didn't understand it. So, and there was this divide and rule mentality that they came with. So now look at it. This was Biafra in 1967. This is the entire Nigeria. You see why Biafra was crushed?
Yes. It was already surrounded any which way you go. It was not possible. It was not, now we can understand why.
You see now? You see the difference? And remember, in those days, they were able to confuse and convince the Middle Belters to fight us. You understand? Gowon is a Middle Belter, no? You understand?
Yes.
They were able to use them to fight us. Now, who are you going to use? You see the difference now?
Yes.
Who are you going to use? Is it the Yorubas that want Yoruba nation that you use to fight us or to fight the lower Niger? Or the Middle Belt that want to move? They are so they really, really want to move that you want to use to fight. Okay, what you see the map? So this map answers that question. The idea of war is off the table. That does not mean that if it comes, people will not be prepared, that kind of a thing. Of course, if somebody wants to come and attack you, you should be prepared. Is that not? Self-defense is a fundamental human right.
Absolutely.
Nobody can take that away from you.
Absolutely.
But that war that they fought in 67 can never be replicated.
The demography has changed.
It has changed. So now that it has changed, who is going to go fight war on your behalf? For what? I mean, how are they benefiting? How has the Yorubas benefited from one Nigeria? Tell me. How have they benefited? In America here, they are doctors, they are nurses, they are lawyers, they are doing good, they are doing great. But back home, they cannot sleep at night. Yeah, some of them have to take 2-3 jobs because they have siblings at home that they have to fend for. Just as it is for us, the Easterners. We are here, we are doing great. We are, professionally, we are sound. But the insecurity at home is making it impossible for us to, do whatever we wanted to do.
Yes.
So the idea of war is totally off the table, but that doesn't mean that if it comes, who they won't fight now? From this map now, okay, who do you think would fight who? Tell me. So the idea of war is totally off the table.
You know what?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You met my expectation. You exceeded my expectation on what we were going to get, because I am fully educated on what NINAS does now. I am fully educated to be able to also inform other people, educate other people on the route or the strategies and approaches that NINAS is using to make sure that Nigeria does not disintegrate into war, but that there are other peaceful alternatives on ways to self-determination, like you mentioned. Yes. And it's not about secession, but self-determination.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I'm just going to ask you your final thoughts, your parting words.
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, I am thrilled that you were able to, contact me and all that. I thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm humbled with that. But I also want to tell our people that all we needed to do is to remain focused. There is no point, killing yourself over nothing. Those of us in the Biafra people, we have the Biafra franchise having a fun day. The likes of Nnamdi Kanu having a fun day with our people. We are emotional when it comes to Biafra. So we're just telling our people, you don't have to go out there to fight. There's an alternative. And the alternative does not involve war. Now, if you want to have more information, we have our platforms or the website. You can go to www.freedomfromnigeria.com and get more information, or you go to www.ninasffn.org. You can get more information about this. And as I told you earlier, we do our shows every Saturday, Daughters of Truth, of which I'm one of them. We have all these things treated from beginning to the end. We started by using the template first. We treated like word for word. We treated all the things here first. So from the template, we're able to move to other stuff. And as I have told our people earlier in my previous video, this is the I hope I'm not putting it upside down. Okay, I'm sorry. So these are the steps that have been taken so far, and we are right here.
Yeah.
There are a total of 16 steps, and we are at the 15th step. So we have just one more to go. Once we conclude, these things, they take a while, and that is why we are doing it legally. We are not trying to like jump the fence, or you do phase 1 and you jump to phase 10. If you go to phase 10, you're going to come back to phase 2. So there's no point. So we are taking it, strategically as we have planned. And so far, we are at the 15th step. So from the 15th step, we'll move to the 16th step, and everybody would have their freedom. And when we talk about freedom, we're talking about self-determination. We're talking about a place where you call your home, not just for you, for yourself, your children, the unborn ones, to the 10th, 20th, to the 1 millionth generation. Because there's no point that all of us, we are abroad doing what here when we can have our own land to ourselves and to our children. So I'm just imploring everybody to just remain focused, get more information, go online. All these things that I said right now, they are online. You can get it from our website. You can get it from YouTube. Just type Nina's, type Freedom from Nigeria. You will get all this information are there. So all you need to do is just, be part of what is going on, and don't get involved in the shenanigans going up and down. Lately the commissioner from Britain was saying that if you are against the 2023 election, they will not give you visa. Now tell them to go and eat that visa that you're not really interested in. They should shove it. They should shove their visas so that you can get your self-determination. If you have your self-determination, what are you doing in their country? Okay, now you are washing toilets and bathrooms. I mean, when you could live like a king in your own homeland. So just tell them to keep their visa. You're not interested. They should help you focus on you getting your self-determination. And it is nice. We are so close to it. So that's all that I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Augusta Anosike. Thank you so very much. I will be catching up with you. And of course, I would like to find out more about Daughters of Truth. And so after the broadcast, I will contact you and get a little more information and see how I can also be a participant in that forum.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you. And as I said, we are 3 of us. You can invite us. We still have more information. There are so many things I know I skipped that my sisters will remember.
Right.
So, as I said, we've been on this for a while, and we are so close to where we are going to. We are so close.
Thank you. Dalo, is it Dalo?
Yes. It is Dalo. Where are you from originally, please?
River State.
See my sister now.
Thank you. I'll catch up with you later.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you've heard it all. Like I have clarity on the issues. I have clarity because there have been a little bit of the video that I saw Dr. Anosike talking about, it was just too much for me, and I just needed a little more in-depth, information. And now I have it. And of course, I will go ahead to inform, educate other people like I always do. And it is also incumbent on you. It is also your responsibility to educate the people around you, to educate your friends, your family, your community, your society, your church members, anywhere that you belong. It is about, the Nina's approach is about self-determination and not about cessation. And of course, Dr. Anosike went ahead to explain, to elaborate on the difference of cessation, calling for cessation, and self-determination. And it looks like there is light at the end of the tunnel. Nigeria doesn't have to go the way of war again to find herself, to build nationhood, finally, for the peoples, the indigenous peoples of Nigeria? Well, the place we call Nigeria geographically today. So thank you for joining us. It's been a wonderful time here on Africa Rise with Susan West today. Please like, follow, subscribe to all our channels. It is Africa_Rise.tv on Instagram. It is Africa Rise TV now on Facebook. We have a new page. Yes, we do. And also on YouTube, it is Africa Rise TV. Thank you so much for joining us. We have another broadcast coming up. It is Africa. There's a celebration and an event for young people on the African continent and in the diaspora, and we will be broadcasting it here. So please do well to join the broadcast that is going to come up next. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next weekend, God willing. Goodbye.